I recently put a poll on YouTube asking subscribers whether or not you wanted to see videos that go into more holistic health and safety, not just focusing on occupational health and safety, but talking about health and safety as it applies to life in general. And the responses that I got was sort of overwhelmingly that you did want to see some videos along those lines. So this is going to be the first of those types of videos. Every now and then I'll put a video up that talks about issues still relating to health and safety, but taking it outside of the occupational health and safety context. More health, to be honest, physical health, mental health, some aspects to do with physical safety as well. And by the way, I should say that when I'm talking about health, occupational health and safety, obviously I've got expertise in that field, and I'll often express a professional opinion. But with these types of videos, it's more about things that I have done that have worked for me, and hopefully I think they might work for you as well. But yeah, the first topic I want to talk about is relating to a health intervention that has had the biggest impact on my life in terms of health, and that is giving up smoking. I'm not going to talk about why you should give up smoking. I'm going to talk about how you give up smoking, or how I did anyway. The reason I've chosen this as the first video is it, as I say, it has been the most impactful health intervention, and I kind of have to use a health and safety lens to come to that conclusion, because with health and safety, it's often the things that you prevent that are the key, and so you don't get to see the impact of them, of your interventions, because they never happen. You know, the accident never happens, the harm never occurs. This is kind of along the same lines, is in that all the other things I'm doing in regards to health, you know, training, following a diet and all that kind of thing, they're active, you're doing them every day. But I gave up smoking many years ago, and what I have to do to reflect on how impactful that has been is consider how bad it would be had I not given up smoking. And that's the reason why I think it's the most important health intervention that I've taken so far. Okay, so as I said, I'm not going to talk and lecture you about why you should give up smoking. You probably know all the reasons why you should give up smoking. What I'm going to talk about is a technique, a methodology that I implemented that finally worked in terms of getting me to stop smoking, because I had smoked, not massively heavily, but I'd smoked for a number of years. I gave up, I think it was about 10 years ago. I'd given up, I attempted to give up many times before then, and had always gone back to it for one reason or another. Nothing seemed to work. I always used to fall back into smoking sooner or later, until I tried a method that, you know, was surprisingly effective. I only needed to use it, I think, a couple of times, and then it had a lasting impact. I haven't spoken now for well over a decade, I think, something like that. What I did was, I remember watching a video on YouTube. It was only a short video, it's very impactful. It was kind of a brutal video, actually. You know, you watch this video, and I'm going to show a video in a minute, and you can see it for yourself. You watch it and it has an immediate impact, sort of really pulls, it's a bit of a gut punch, pulls the rug from under you when you watch this video. And what I did was, I remembered how I felt after I watched this video, and the impact that it had on me, and how much it made me not want to smoke. It took that, it took away any desire to smoke. But the thing is, it didn't last, not for a significant amount of time. My weakness was alcohol as well. So when I was out drinking, you know, I just couldn't remember the video. It wasn't on my mind. And so I would fall back into smoking again. But what I did was, this is going back a few years, and by that time it was possible, just about, to put videos on your phone. And so I got the video, downloaded it, put it on my phone, and what I did was I made a commitment to myself that I would watch the video if and when the urge to smoke came on. Before, the commitment that I tried to make, I tried to sort of say to myself, look, I'd say sort of, Adam, don't smoke tonight. Have a few drinks, but don't smoke. And I'd try to make that commitment. And I meant it when I said it, but then I'd forget about it, or not forget about it, but just didn't care about it. By the time I'd gone out and had a few drinks, I just didn't, that commitment just ebbed away. It didn't last. What worked was having a different commitment. So the commitment that I made once I'd got this video downloaded onto my phone is I sort of said to myself, look, smoke if you want to, or don't smoke. Don't even think along those lines. The commitment was, if you're going to smoke, watch the video first. So it was only a short video, and you're about to see it in a minute. So what I would do is just take myself off to the toilets, and because I didn't want to watch it in front of people. You know, the full commitment came straight back. I did not want to smoke after watching this video again. It took away the craving better than any nicotine patch ever could for me. And that was the key to it, really, is the availability of it, having it there on my phone, being able to watch it, and then making a different commitment, i.e. don't make a commitment to smoke or not smoke. I gave myself permission to smoke if I wanted to, only after having watched the video. Those two things, it was those two things that I think made the difference, is the immediate availability of the video, because it was on my phone and my phone was in my pocket, and it was making a different commitment, not a commitment to not smoke, but a commitment to, if you do want to smoke, watch the video first. And then not wanting to smoke just kind of takes care of itself after you have watched the video. So I'm going to play the video now. It's brutal. It's meant to be. Have a watch of the video and I'll see you on the other side.
I had my first cigarette at age 13, and at age 17 is when I really started smoking on a regular basis. And then in 2000 is when I found the little sore on the inside of my mouth, and it wouldn't go away. And on a routine dentist appointment, he saw it and he thought it looked suspicious, so he did a biopsy. Well, it came back as mouth cancer, so I had to go through radiation. And then in December is when we discovered the tumor in my larynx. The day of my surgery, I can remember smoking up to the front door of the hospital. That's how addicted I was. And I didn't know that I was so addicted until after I got out of the hospital. When I went home, I went straight. I went straight to my bedroom, picked up a cigarette, put it in my mouth, and lit it. And for the first time, I really looked at myself in a mirror. And I thought, Terry, what are you doing? You have a hole in your neck, and you're getting ready to use what did it to you. My advice to somebody who doesn't smoke, don't ever start. My advice to those who do smoke, please quit, or at least try.
So, as I said, quite a brutal video. I'm almost tempted to say I hope it didn't disturb you too much, but obviously no, that's the whole point of the video. I hope it did disturb you. That's what those people that were featured in the video did it for. That's what they wanted. That's their legacy, really. That's the incredibly brave thing that they did in committing, their accounts to video, is that they wanted to pass on that message. Those types of videos disturbed me enough to make me give up. And I've got to say that that video that I showed you isn't the actual one that I used. The one that I used is a long time ago. I've tried to find it, but I can't find it now. But it was it's the same type. People that are that have sadly passed away after having suffered illnesses relating to their smoking, giving their accounts and expressing their regret as to their regret about smoking and causing the diseases that they suffered with. And to think that those people are no longer alive, it's really sobering. And for me, after watching that video, even on a night out, like I say, I had it in my phone, went to the bathroom, watched the video. When I felt those cravings come on. And like I say, my weakness was when I'm on a night out and I'm drinking, feeling those urges come on to smoke, especially when you're seeing other people go out for a smoke and things like that. Took myself off to the toilets, watched this video. Do not want to smoke again after watching that. Just completely obliterated any kind of urges that I'd been experiencing up to that point. Very effective for me. It might work less effectively for you, I don't know. I mean, I like watching videos, they have an impact on me. It's my way of learning, and different people get different things out of it. You've also got to think about what your trigger points are. It might be that you always get an urge to smoke after eating. That's quite common. When you're stressed out, when you're nervous, on waking up first thing in the morning, those types of things. I could deal with those fairly well, just with willpower, but I couldn't deal with alcohol in the same way. That was my weakness when it came to giving up smoking. Just having a few drinks would just take me right back to zero in terms of my willpower. And it's not a really reliable thing to rely on anyway, is willpower. So this technique really worked for me. Like I said, I didn't really have to use it very many times because it was so effective. Once a few weeks had passed, then it's like an exponential curve. It just gets easier and easier then to keep to keep not smoking. I don't think it'll work as well, obviously, for people that are super addicted. Some people, their trigger point for having a cigarette is just finishing the current cigarette that they're smoking, and then they'll use that cigarette to light their next one. I wasn't that bad. I wasn't like a heavy chain smoker. I was pretty good by comparison to a lot of people I knew at the time, and this was enough to just get me over the line. I think it's worth having a crack at it if you've been struggling to stop smoking and you just can't do it. This might work for you. It's similar to sort of some occupational health and safety interventions whereby you get people that have suffered a tragic sort of injury or illness, or a family member has, or a close friend has, and selflessly they go around into workplaces and give talks to kind of really hit home how important health and safety is in the workplace. And they're very effective for a while. It's been noticed that the effect of it diminishes over time. And of course, they can't get these people back in on a weekly basis to do a talk. It's usually something that is done sort of sporadically. The effect of it is felt acutely for a while, but then it tapers off and people tend to forget. And so there's that lack of availability makes that health and safety intervention less effective over time. This is why I think it's important, or it was important for me, to not just simply watch the video once, or once in a blue moon, or even every now and again. It was more having the availability of it, and it was there at the point of need. So when I felt the urge to smoke, the video was there right then when I needed it the most. I could watch it, be reminded of those harsh lessons, and then the urges went away. So I think this tendency to forget is something that was preventing me from really making the the stopping smoking a success. So anyway, that is the first video of this type. Hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments whether this type of video is something that you want to see more of, and I'll see you in the next one.